Shalom. This week we are reading Parashat Va'era, and I appeared, the second Torah portion in the book of Shemot, Exodus, beginning with verse 2 of chapter 6. The plagues that were visited upon Egypt begin in our Torah portion this week, and they feature prominently. In fact, the first 7 plagues are featured in Parashat Va'era. Blood. Aaron strikes the river with his staff, and all the water in Egypt turns to human blood. The fish die. Every drop of water in Egypt, even in minute amounts in sticks and stones, turns to blood. But simultaneously, for the Israelites, the very same waters remain water. Frogs. Aaron stretches out his staff over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs rise up out of the waters and converge upon the Egyptians in their clothes and their homes and their beds and ovens. Pharaoh presses Moshe and Aaron to pray to Hashem to stop the plague. The frogs cease, but he continues to harden his heart, as Hashem had spoken. Lice. Aaron strikes the dust of the land, and lice teems from the dust in man and beast, causing Egypt's magicians to declare, "It's the finger of God." See, through their manipulation, their magic, they had been able to replicate, actually to imitate, the first 2 plagues of blood and frogs. But that was simply a matter of transforming a pre-existing substance. They were professional conjurers. They were really good at mirroring reality, but of course, they weren't capable of creating it. Thus, they failed in their attempts to replicate the plague of lice. God empowered Moshe and Aaron to change the water into blood and to draw frogs from the water, but only Hashem, the true creator of the world, can create something new. It was the magician's inability to replicate the plague of lice that persuaded Pharaoh and his people that the plagues were a true manifestation of the power of the God of Israel. But Pharaoh's heart was strong, and he did not heed them, as Hashem had spoken. Next came wild beasts. A mixture of wild beasts rises up and destroys Egypt, of course with the exception of the land of Goshen. Pharaoh suggests to Moshe to let the people bring offerings to Hashem within the land of Egypt. But Moshe refuses the offer, and then Pharaoh offers to let them go if the plague will stop. Moshe prays, and the animals disappear. Not one remained, but Pharaoh breaks his word once again. Animal epidemic. All the Egyptians' flocks that were in the fields perished in this epidemic. Pharaoh checked, and behold, not one of the livestock belonging to Israel had died. All the plagues emphasize this distinction between the Israelites and the Egyptians, between Egypt and the land of Goshen, the Jewish neighborhood. The plagues were targeted and distinguished between the Egyptians and the Jews. Yet Pharaoh's heart became stubborn, and he did not send out the people. Boils. Moshe and Aaron take handfuls of soot from the furnace and throw it heavenward. The dust becomes blistering boils on man and beast. The magicians can't even stand before Pharaoh on account of the boils. Flaming hail. Hashem rains down a very heavy hail, ice with a core of burning fire, the union of 2 opposing natural powers to do Hashem's will, as the verse states, such as never had been in the land of Egypt from the time it became a nation. All people and animals that were outside were killed. The grass of the fields was destroyed. The trees were broken. This time, Pharaoh seems to get the message, and he seems to get religion. He declares, "This time I have sinned. Hashem is the righteous one, and I and my people are the wicked ones." Moshe accedes to Pharaoh's request and prays to Hashem for the hail to cease. But again he reneges and does not send the people out. There's so much to learn from and about each one of these plagues, a world of detail and lessons for us. But what were they really all about? So open up your heart in the deepest way. Our Parsha opens with the issue of God's identity. God spoke to Moshe and said to him, "I am Hashem. I appeared to Avraham, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov as El Shaddai, but with my name Hashem, I did not make myself known to them." Here Hashem is informing Moshe that he is revealing himself to him and relating to him in a new way, with a new presentation of reality, in which his holiest and most profound name, the one that we reverentially refer to as Hashem, the name, in which that holy and profound name will be manifest. Now, God is one, and his name is one. He's the endless creator. But how do we then relate to him? The Torah teaches us that we can relate to him through his names. He makes himself known to creation and relatable through various attributes, and the Torah employs various names of God which conveys these attributes such as kindness or judgment. El Shaddai is the name and therefore the aspect of himself that God revealed to the patriarchs. Look carefully and recall that this is the name the patriarchs related to in Genesis 17:1, 28:3, 35:11, 43:14, and 48:3. The name El Shaddai reflects God's aspect of creating and controlling the world within limitations that he set, within the natural order of things. The idea of reality existing within specific parameters, the anticipated and expected laws of nature that normally govern over life. This is the way that God manifested himself to the forefathers, to whom he made the promise of Israel's redemption. But now he's about to deliver on that promise. And Israel's redemption will be orchestrated on a whole other level, on a level above nature, breaking all borders of the physical and mundane and expected, beyond all perceived limitations. So what Hashem is really telling Moshe is that he's now introducing this side of himself into the world, that all of creation is about to experience something new. And really, this concept of who God is and how he runs the world, his world, and our awareness and recognition of him, this is the main theme of our Torah portion. See, people have the impression that the plagues were visited upon Pharaoh and Egypt as punishment for mistreating or not freeing Israel. But preceding the first plague, that of blood, Hashem himself declared in chapter 7 and verse 17, "Through this shall you know that I am Hashem." The plagues were not about Pharaoh's refusal to free Israel, but rather about his rejection and dismissal of Hashem. The primary goal of the plagues was to demonstrate God's unparalleled power, not for punishment, not for convincing, but for knowledge. As the Midrash observes, why was the first plague the turning of the waters to blood? Because Pharaoh and the Egyptians worshipped the Nile. So God said, first I'll strike their God, and then his people. The illustrious commentator Abarbanel has a unique approach to understanding the order of the plagues. He writes that Pharaoh disagreed with Moshe regarding three foundational principles. Firstly, Moshe stressed that Hashem is the primary cause, who himself intrinsically is the reason for existence. Pharaoh denied his existence altogether, as we read in last week's Torah portion, where he said, "I do not know Hashem." Secondly, Moshe said that God exercises his providence over all the ways of men and repays to each person according to their actions. And Pharaoh denied this by saying, "Who is Hashem?" And thirdly, Moshe emphasized that this God who supervises over everything is the God of Israel, all-powerful, who can change nature and renew and change every detail according to his will. Pharaoh denied this as well, as indicated by his words, "Who is Hashem, that I should heed his voice?" Meaning, what power does he hold over me, that I should submit before him and heed his voice? On this account, teaches Abarbanel, the plagues came in this order as substantiation of these points. The first three serve to prove the existence of God, the second three to demonstrate that this is God who supervises and controls all of reality, and the third three to show that Hashem could change anything according to his will. The Egyptian experience, our bondage and exodus, is of such paramount importance that it's actually a mitzvah, a positive commandment, to remember it every single day. See, there are 6 remembrances, they're called, 6 things that the Torah commands us to remember each day. This is actually a commandment which is preferably fulfilled by actually reciting the relevant Torah verses which relate to these topics aloud each day. And the scrupulously observant attach these verses to the close of each morning service. These concepts are so pivotal for the nation of Israel that the Torah commands us to remember them forever. These are mitzvot that actually are fulfilled without action, but simply by remembering. The first on this list of remembrances is the Exodus from Egypt. As it's written, Deuteronomy chapter 16 and verse 3, "Remember the day when you left Egypt, all the days of your life." Hashem's redemption of Israel from Egyptian bondage, both physical and spiritual, was the pivotal moment in Jewish history. Every morning and evening it's recited as part of the order of the Shema prayers. Kiddush, sanctification prayer over wine on Shabbat, is in remembrance of leaving Egypt. By the way, the other remembrances are receiving the Torah at Mount Sinai, Amalek's attack, the sin of the golden calf, Miriam's punishment, and the commandment of Shabbat. The whole Egyptian experience is about recognizing Hashem and believing in Him. Belief in God is everything. Our sages teach that in the merit of their belief, Israel was redeemed from Egypt, as it's written, and the people believed, and they heard that Hashem had remembered the children of Israel. And continue our sages, in the merit of belief, Israel is destined to be redeemed in the future. The Torah's message of exile and redemption from Egypt is for all time applicable to each and every one of us for all the exiles that we go through. It's all about our acknowledging that it's Hashem who runs the world. And our sages teach that the miracles of the future, ultimate redemption, will outshine those of the exodus from Egypt. In the words of the prophet Micha, as in the days of your exodus from the land of Egypt, I will show him wonders.